Hello wolves! So, today's video is going to be a wish list sort of video of what I want to happen in season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. So this is just going to be a little discussion video. It's not really structured. None of my videos are structured, to be honest, but this is just a talk. Let's just have a conversation, a one-sided conversation, granted, but you can listen. Let's start with Klaus. Now, in season 1, when Klaus went, I guess I should say spoilers just in case, but I feel like if you're on a video about season 2 you should have seen season 1. And spoilers for comics, probably just the first 2, but if anything from these comics actually happens in the show, then spoilers I guess for season 2. In season 1, when Klaus went to the afterlife and saw Reginald, good old Reggie gave him a little bit of cryptic news that he hadn't reached his full potential. Comic book Klaus has a huge amount of powers. Levitating is one of them. So, levitating Klaus in season 2, by the looks of it, from the trailers, spoilers if you haven't seen the trailers, it looks, well, there's no looks of it, it's pretty much confirmed that he's in a cult, or that he is the cult leader. Levitating would probably guarantee you a top spot in a cult. I get seen and dead as well, but levitating, that's some top tier shit for cults. Comic book Klaus can also channel the dead, possess people, communicate through airways, and can use telekinesis. So there's a whole lot of powers that TV version Klaus hasn't tapped into yet, which I assume will happen because the drugs and the alcohol and stuff like that have been numbing his powers and dulling them so that he didn't get the full brunt of them. Also, there's this whole thing of Reginald. Reginald is in the trailer for season 2 as obviously a younger man, and this is where I guess he finds out about the apocalypse and the idea to adopt these children, but he mentions to Klaus in season 1 that you have not reached your full potential. Maybe season 2 Klaus has reached part of that potential, so the younger version of Reginald knows what those powers will evolve into. Just anything with Klaus I'm happy with, to be honest. The possessing people would be really cool. In Dallas he possesses Hazel and Cha-Cha. He possesses Hazel to shoot Cha-Cha, then shoot himself. So possessing people would be a really useful power and is on my top 10 powers that I'd want if I was a superhero, right next to water manipulation, because I don't know, that'd just be cool. Okay, let's talk about 5 and Luther. This is spoilers for Dallas. That's volume 2 of the Umbrella Academy. So, a picture was released on the Instagram account for the Umbrella Academy of Luther and 5, which is, great. But what's weird about it is there's not really any other pairings of the siblings. In Dallas, it is revealed that 5 is a twin. I originally, when I read it, thought it was Allison, but it is revealed to be Luther. So they're going down the same route. Luther and 5 twins. Otherwise, this picture's super random. I think it's safe to say they're going down the Luther and 5 a twin route. It doesn't really change anything anyway that they're twins because they were brought up as brothers, and it does make stakes higher if they're going to go with the same plot from Dallas, where Carmichael, who is the fish, goes back and finds 5's birth mother and, basically says, if you don't do what I want you to do, your mum's gonna die before she has you and you won't exist. But it won't just be 5 on the line, it will also be Luther. Sibling bonding. I would love them to be nice to Vanya. Specifically Diego and Luther. I just want some bonding between those two and also between them and Vanya. Just be nice to Vanya in general. Should be a general rule for anyone in the world. If you meet someone called Vanya, be nice to them. You never know what they're suppressing. Okay, Ben. We need more Ben. From the trailer, we see different shots of Ben. Obviously he's always around Klaus, but the one thing that stood out, and probably stood out to everyone watching the trailer, was that Ben shut a car door. How? And him and Klaus were fighting. How? Resurrection. Maybe Klaus's powers are that strong that he can always be corporeal. I feel like that would be a big drain on his powers though, unless he's literally like one with the world and has opened his third fucking eye. I don't know. Maybe we'll finally get to learn how he died. This is an interesting one for me because normally ghosts that Klaus see, if they've had horrific deaths, you can tell. With Ben, he seems pretty normal, and they always die in the clothes that they died in. I always assumed that he died on a mission, but from the clothes that he wears, it doesn't seem like that. And they always say a gruesome death, but you can't really tell what that death is at the moment. Maybe he's hiding something under his clothes. Okay, so next on my list, I've literally just got Luther Finds Love. Luther is one of the characters that I was not fussed on when I first watched The Umbrella Academy. Even reading the comics, I'm not fussed on him. But rewatching it for the recap videos that are coming out next week, and because I've shown it to my mum and dad, Luther is such a sweetheart, I think is the best word to describe him. He's like a puppy, he's so clueless. And he's lost everything because of Reginald. 4 years of his life wasted. He's not even experienced normal human behaviour, like going out and drinking and getting too drunk that you puke everywhere, and finding a girl or a boy or whatever and falling in love and having a relationship. Which is why I think I'm glad they've gone down the route that Alison has found someone else. And hopefully Luther will as well. Just because it gives Luther a chance to explore and see the world, and hopefully not get treated like a freak. But based on the trailer, he was coming out of a boxing ring, and his top, he had a vest top on and you could like see his arms. It looks less furry, and I think he may have shaved them. But Luther, looking back, you can see the motivation behind all of Luther's moves. Locking Vanya up, he was just trying to protect his family. He went about it all stupidly wrong, but you can see the motivation. Being number one is something he's known since he was literally a baby, so him always taking the lead is something he can't snap out of. And being doubtful of his siblings is maybe a product of being the favourite, of not understanding how they don't have this close bond to Reginald like he did. And I do feel bad for Luther. The blind, like, awe he feels about Reginald is just sick because of what Reginald did to Luther. It was to save his life, sure, but you can still feel resentment towards him for it. Luther didn't. Okay, so Alison finding her voice. From the trailer, Alison is talking, we can see she's talking. End of last season, she wasn't. Obviously, we don't actually know how long she was in the 60s for before 5 turned up. We don't know how long anyone was, but what we do know is that in season 1, Grace said her vocal cords could be damaged. She never confirmed it, whereas in the comics it is pretty much confirmed that her vocal cords were damaged by the second volume. Because they're following the second volume's plot, maybe Alison will get her voice like she did in the comic, by getting surgery, by the commission, so she is the one that kills JFK. So if they go down that route, that actually makes a lot more sense to me, because we see JFK's assassination in season 1 when 5 comes back from the future, and we do hear that he does die. Someone finishes the job. We don't know if it's a gun, maybe it is a gun, we'll have to go back and hear and like double check, but we hear screaming. Maybe Alison was the one to actually kill him. In the comics she dresses up like Jackie and rumours him, but we'll soon find out. But they might go down this route to give her a voice, or they might just say that it healed naturally. We don't know how long she was there for, maybe it did take years to heal. And she's found love, she's in a relationship with a new man that's not Luther. Okay, I've only got 3 more points on my list that I wrote. Yeah, but I've just noticed I've not done anything about Diego. I think it's because I'm just confused. Like, he seems to be in an asylum in the trailer, and he seems to have met Lila, who seems to be another patient, and I just can't, like, I don't know what's happening to Diego, to be honest. He seems lost. How long's he been there as well? His hair's grown out. We do see a shot of early Diego, I noticed, looking at JFK. I noticed it was him because he had his blue, like, superhero costume or whatever he wants to call it on. But yeah, I don't know what I want to happen to Diego. I guess finding Lila is enough, like finding love and moving on from Eudora. But I also want to see him and Luther bond, maybe. Like, they're old enough now to kind of move on from number 1 and number 2, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. Diego seems like he can hold a grudge. I also want to know whether he will see Hazel in the 60s. I want to know why he got sent to the asylum. Okay, Klaus and a baby. So, in volume 2, Dallas, Klaus has a son, and it's just really like brushed over, and I actually laughed when it happened because it's such a Klaus thing to do, isn't it? He has a baby when they go back in time, and when they all meet up, he kind of hands the baby off to a random woman and then leaves him in the past. Yeah, I only added it on my list because I was like, that's such a weird detail that they might actually add. Maybe it's not even Klaus's biological baby, he just has a baby with him. Oh, it just popped into my head. Dave. Dave could be around in the 60s. Oh my god. That would be heartbreaking for Klaus. Could Klaus run into his old self? Okay, I just got 2 more points on the list. This quick video has turned out to be not a quick video. I just like ranting, okay? Hazel. We see Hazel in the trailer. We see no Agnes. Agnes better be alive, and they better have had kids and lived happily ever after, I swear to god. That's basically my point on Hazel. That's what I want to happen to him in the future. I wonder if Cha-Cha will come back and be relevant. I know she died at the end of the first season, but time travel is a fully established thing in this universe, so she could make an appearance. We also see Carmichael, which is really cool because he just looks cool. Like, the budget for this season must have gone up because of how popular season 1 was. But saying that though, Pogo was really well done for season 1. Like, for a Netflix show, he was really well done. Speaking of the Vietnam War from earlier about Dave, there is a picture where they're all wearing sunglasses and you can see stuff reflected, and one of them for Luther is war, and I wonder if he's going to be sent to frontline. Maybe he might meet Dave, and maybe he'll meet past Klaus. And the last point I have is actually something I mentioned earlier, and I'm probably going to be repeating myself now, but it's Reginald. So I guess he was told to adopt the kids by the academy. I wonder if this is like a change from the original timeline, and that it might make their futures better. I just wonder that because I'm curious whether this has always happened and their future selves have always come back to tell Reginald to adopt them, or if this is a new thing that's happened and Reginald was just happened to adopt them in the past timeline. Alright, and that is it. That video was pretty ranty. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited for season 2. So all next week I will be doing recaps on each member of the Hargreaves family, starting with Luther, ending with Vanya. So if you want to be updated when that actually comes out, please click that bell down below to know when it's uploaded. Click the subscribe button because I do videos like this every single week. It's an unknown fact, but it is free to subscribe. So you might as well. Comment down below what you thought of the video, what you think about my predictions or whatever the hell that was. What do you think is going to happen to each member in season 2? What are your hopes that will happen to each member? What are your worst fears about what will happen to each member? Whatever you want to say, let me know down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It would mean so much to me. I'll probably do a review on season 2 after I finished it, but I'm not going to rush watching it. I'm going to take my time, otherwise I won't absorb anything. So that'll be out whenever I finish season 2. Just levitating Klaus, just give us that. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I will see you next time. Bye, little wolves.